In 1979, I was a young man far from God and seeking to find my way, and had a few traumatic things happen that left me in a bad place. And during that bad stretch, my girlfriend became pregnant. I was the father, and because of my behavior, she felt it was best to have an abortion. And I felt pressured to go along with it, and the child's life was taken. We'd been told, well, it's just a fetus, it's not really human. My girlfriend went to St. Paul, Minnesota, at Planned Parenthood. When she left, I knew I had a child. And when she came back, I still had a child, but the child was gone. So I carried that, drank over it, did drugs, and it wouldn't go away. Finally, I just had enough, and I went to visit a priest. I didn't know what they did to people like me, but I knew that confession was good for the soul, and I thought, well, I don't care, I'll go talk to him. And this man told me that God forgave me for my involvement in that abortion. And all the little strands that were connected to that experience, I wasn't sure exactly what they were at the time, but being forgiven was good enough for me at that moment. And I accepted it, and I felt it, and my whole life changed. But as the years went by, I found that, yes, I was forgiven, but there was still an uneasy feeling inside of me about that experience. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to hear about it. Eventually, I decided to do my doctorate of ministry on ministering to men who've lost children to abortion, because I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me, and I knew it was connected with the abortion. And I found out several things. There was anger. I was angry at people who had influenced us in the decision that turned out to be so negative, and who'd lied to us and said that it's not going to have any impact on you at all. I was angry at the people that said it was none of my business because it was not my decision. I was angry at them. I was angry at the people that said that you shouldn't feel the way you're feeling because I wasn't a child anyway. So there was anger, there was guilt, and underneath it all, and this took time to expose, there was grief. I'd lost a daughter due to my inaction and other people's action. I'd lost a daughter who I would never know in this life. I remember helping a young lady at our church who was pregnant. Her boyfriend wanted to have an abortion. We stepped in, we took her to a crisis pregnancy center, we encouraged her, and she brought that little boy into the world. And one day, I was on a bus. It was just fortuitous. I was on a bus, and this lady was on the bus with her son, and I was getting off the bus right in front of the apartment where my girlfriend had the decision to have the abortion. And so I said, what are the chances of this? And I looked at that little boy who had a part of bringing into the world just by being supportive. And I looked at that apartment where I had kept my mouth shut and let my girlfriend have the abortion. And all that fear and anxiety that I'd carried for 35 years left, because I had a part in bringing that little boy into the world. And God removed that fear from me, which I didn't even know I was carrying. I didn't even know where it was coming from. When you're involved in letting a child die, when your responsibility is to provide and protect, it leaves a mark on your heart. But nothing's impossible for God, and nothing is beyond His redemption. And Jesus can clear a post-abortive father of the negative impact losing a child to abortion can have on him.